You're listening to the Hot Mess Mel Mom podcast, where we're just trying to spouse, we're trying to mom, we're trying to survive. So sit back, relax, whether it's your coffee, tea, or wine time, and let us make you feel normal. Like, share, subscribe, and check us out every Friday. Who fucking cares?
And
welcome back to another week of the Hot Mess Mel Mom podcast. This is the Hot Mess Mel Mom with Miss Bite Your Face Off, and we are totally 100% awake.
definitely
There's no sleepiness here.
non-drowsy.
Nope.
Ah!
And
3 seconds in. 3
On cue.
seconds in.
On fucking cue.
Damn, I thought we were gonna make it longer than that.
Just like that. All right, so
And
I'm
just
going to
like
take
that.
a nap. Veronica's going to talk to y'all for an hour, and then we're going to switch. She's going to take a nap. You guys are just going to hear me for an hour. We're just going to tap out like that. That's what we're going to do. Oh, my God. So, this week, we are doing Vote Dependa 2025. Or actually, I guess we should say 2028. Yeah, Vote Dependa 2028. 100%. And we're totally not doing this because it's any... You good?
Sorry, this is a damn computer screwing up again.
We're under attack.
I was like, Poppy, what'd you do?
We're under attack. This is the start of the purge.
I was like, where's that coming from? Everybody duck and
It's
cover.
not me. It's nothing we did. It was not our fuck up.
Duck and roll.
Anywho, the topic is so not involving a theme. It has nothing to do with anything that may or may not have happened this week. Just so you know. Because we do
definitely
not
not.
discuss politics on this podcast. 100%.
Never.
No politics involved. At all.
Never. Mm-mm.
However, if we were to be voted president someday,
If we did talk about politics.
and we were given the opportunity to have executive orders, these are some of the things we may do. So, Dependa 2028. And I'm fairly certain you would be president and I would be vice president. I could see you as president.
Really? Oh, there'd be so many pardons. So many.
Get
Joe
the
Exotic.
Menendez brothers out of there. Their parents fucking deserved it.
Joe Exotic would be the top of my list. Top of my list. And that comes to me like fresh in my mind because like when everybody was like freaking out about like the TikTok ban, like everyone's like first videos that went onto TikTok were like circling back through. And it was that song where it was the Carol Baskin. Killed her husband, whacked him.
Whacked him.
Can't convince me that it, and I spent my first like year of TikTok singing that like every day. So, you know, I gotta give that man some credit to those thoughts. There will be pardons left and right. Left and right. Starting with him.
And it wasn't like the who were the two magicians that had the tigers?
Siegfried and Roy.
Siegfried and Roy. It wasn't like he raped the tigers or anything or
Exactly.
something like that. You know, it's,
Yeah.
he was good
I mean,
to the tigers. He
I think
fed them. He took care of them.
He just didn't really know what the fuck he was doing. He just loved tigers so much that he just wanted any way that he could make that shit work. He was trying to make that shit work. The old expired meats, the handlers, you know, some arms and legs here and there, like, you know. no laughing matter, but like, old boy was just trying to get it. He was just trying to get it done. You know, he was just trying to love, be loved. You know, he just, I think he's just misunderstood.
And he was a fashion icon.
He
I
really
mean,
was.
just, he
A
did
mullet
him.
never goes out of style. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love a mullet. I respect a well done mullet. And, you know, I might have known a little bit more about him than I needed, but, you know, it's okay. It's okay. He thought he was gonna be president, and that's okay. It's okay. Did he put his face on condoms? Sure. He put his names on condoms. But you know what? It's
He did.
okay. He
He put
did,
his
yeah.
face on a condom? Oh wait, like on the wrapper?
That was like part of his, I'm pretty sure that was part of his like his marketing for when he was like running for like whatever, like the mayor or whatever he was running for, to like
That's
lead
genius.
start. I'm saying, like, he's like, you know, he may not be all there, but he's there enough. Saying,
If it hasn't been done, you fucking do it.
yeah, I mean, you gotta try new things. I mean,
Trump, he had a whole sneaker line.
yeah, socks, sneaker, like there's like untapped potential. You just never know. And Joe Exotic took it to that level. And I personally think he should get pardoned. I think he's done enough. I think he's done his time. I think he's good. Let him out. Let him.
You know what
Don't give
Hillary
him.
could have done?
Don't give him any more tigers.
Hillary and Kamala should have came out with their own Plan B. They should have had their faces on a Plan B pill.
Genius. Genius.
There you go.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yep.
See, there's so many untapped potentials. Like, if they just had to think outside the box. Take a page from Joe Exotic's book. See?
See, this
I'm
is
just
why
saying.
you should be president.
I could see that. I could see that now. I could see it.
Yep.
I don't have
you
the
be
patience
president.
for politics.
See, that's why I'll be your vice president. And
Yeah,
we'll get
you
a
be my
whole
JD Vance.
team. We'll get an AER loan to fund
Beautiful.
your presidential campaign.
I love it.
I'm pretty sure that would get approved. I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds legit.
We seem trustworthy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I would trust us.
What about us doesn't sound trustworthy?
Exactly.
Then those 10 minutes that we're talking to them, we just don't say fuck.
10 minutes? 10 whole minutes?
10 whole minutes. I think we can go 10 whole minutes. At least 9
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, like 9 tops. Yeah, probably.
Yep. We get out in the
Yeah.
parking lot and we just scream it at the top
Let it
of our
all out.
lungs. It's over and done
Yeah.
with. We're perfectly fine.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. We could do this.
So, first day as president, you're getting up there, you're doing the whole oath and shit, and till death do us part, you're gonna love and not fuck over, but fuck this country, and it's gonna be grand, you're gonna take care of everything, you're gonna say yes to all the wrong people, say no to all the right people, and it's gonna be fantastic. You put your hand on the Bible, you don't act like a Nazi or throw your hand up, because, you know, people are going to misinterpret everything. Don't kiss your wife.
Okay.
Because you're going to have the big hat on.
Right.
Or don't
Yeah,
kiss your
for sure.
husband.
Yeah.
Because, again, everything that you do or don't do, everyone's going to take the most wrong way possible.
Of course.
And then you get concerts and stuff, and, you know, we'll have Marilyn Manson playing. Really throw a wrench into everything.
Absolutely.
And then they sit you in front of a whole bunch of pieces of paper, and you're signing everything. What's the first thing that you're going to sign?
The first thing I'm going to sign. Let's see. Well, first of all, we've got to stop with the tax on special beverages. We got to stop. Okay? We got to stop doing that. It's expensive enough to have fermented water, to have, libations, and we we gotta stop. We gotta stop doing that. Okay. And I mostly kept my executive orders to like the military lifestyle, but like that to me gets me because you go and you get your military discount at the restaurant that you're eating at, right? Because as Dependas, that's what we do. And we're good at it. And then it's everything discounted except the alcohol. No, discount it all. Stop taxing us on alcohol. Stop not giving us discounts on alcohol. We earned this alcohol. Okay? We earned this. We've got kids home on fucking snow days every other week. We've got husbands that are gone forever and ever and ever. Some of these bitches are brave enough to homeschool. Okay? They've earned this alcohol. And we've got to stop making it, we've got to stop making it harder by too expensive to purchase. That would be my number one. That would be my first thing. Top of the brain. First thing. Everybody's celebrating. Everybody's doing things, and like my thought process would be like, "Wow, there's so much alcohol here. I wonder how much they spent, and I wonder how much is being taxed. Did someone get a discount on this alcohol?" Like, I love a discount, so I gotta say, that'd probably be like my first thing. The rest of my stuff is very like boring, Dependa, Stepfordy, like executive orders, I have to say. But that's my first. Like, that's my right at the top of the list.
My first one kind of falls in line with yours. It would be the tobacco and alcohol.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody is ever just going to quit.
Right.
It does not matter how expensive you make these things. It does not matter how much you tax these things. You're never going to force anybody to quit.
Right. Where there's a will, there's a way too. So like, it's going to happen.
Quit with that. Like, put a cap on this stuff. Just come on. It's getting fucking ridiculous. Put a cap on this shit and go tax something else. Tax avocados higher. They keep putting this shit on
those
everything.
Avocados, dude.
Nobody wants avocados. Tax kale. Okay?
Do you remember? Do you remember?
Particular tax section.
Celery,
avocados, and kale.
And celery. Fuck that shit too. Just tax the bullshit. Okay, not the good stuff. It's the stuff that nobody wants, okay? So when they do eventually buy it, tax the hell out of them. Exactly. Like,
tax the hippie shit.
Seriously.
Let us kill our bodies, but tax the hippie shit.
Exactly. They had their
germ.
moments. It's over, okay?
There you go.
They tested the waters.
Wheat germ.
Sprouts.
Yes.
Tofu.
So there we go.
All that,
tofu,
the fake
wheat germs, sprouts, kale, avocado, and kombucha.
Beyond meat. Tax the fuck out of that. Okay? I love a black bean burger, but you know what? If I'm gonna go out of my way to eat that shit, tax the fuck out of me for it, okay? I've earned it. I've deserved it. Just tax the fuck out of me for it. I get it.
I would rather get taxed on my fruits and veggies than I would my alcohol and my vapes.
I got my priorities.
Of that.
Exactly. This whole conversation, do you remember like peak Jersey Shore season? Like peak Jersey Shore. And
well, you know me, I don't watch that shit.
I do. I'm a victim of Jersey Shore. And all I remember is the first time that Trump took presidency, Snooki was very concerned about the taxes on tanning. And she was so concerned that the taxes for tanning at tanning beds was going to be so expensive that she started self-tanning at home. And it was just the funniest thing. That was like the intro to one of the seasons. She was like, I heard that Donald Trump is going to put a really high tax on tanning. So I just went and bought all my own stuff to just tan at home because how could I not be and I just remember like, I never laughed so hard at something so stupid. Probably ever. But like, I get it. As an adult, my tanning, alcohol is my tanning. Like, that to me, like, I get that. Like, I get it, I respect it. Because I was not old enough to drink when that happened. So, like, I didn't get it then, and I get it now. I get it. It makes sense to me now.
Tax the
Fuck the
vegans and
kale.
the dumbasses.
Exactly.
Let us have our cheap tobacco and our cheap alcohol.
Yes. All the fake cheese and the fucking whatever fake milk. Like, tax the shit out of all that stuff, but, like, leave the rest of us alone. Leave us alone. Okay? Your fake chicken, your fake cheese,
The faux
like,
turkey.
the tofurkey. Like, tax the shit out of all that stuff, but leave
Yes.
us people alone. Us processed
Definitely.
food bitches. Leave us alone. Okay? I'm all for RFK Jr. wanting to make shit healthy and get rid of, like, whatever red dye, something, something, something. So I'm gonna go buy it all up before he gets rid of it. Okay? Because I'm here for it. I'm here for the healthiness. I would rather my kids have the healthy shit, and then I'll consume all the shit that they want to get rid of. It's fine. This
It's like,
body is red dye number 40 or whatever the fuck. Made by red dye 40 and alcohol. Okay? And I'm fine.
it's like Michelle Obama when she wanted to do the whole healthy kids at school thing, and all she literally did was just cut their school lunch in half.
Yeah, like half the portions. I'm like, I'm starving.
I'm gonna
so I'm
make
buying
you
twice
healthy
the snacks.
by starving you.
Like, we couldn't have gone with, like, low-fat milk, maybe an extra vegetable. You had to cut their food in half. That solved nothing. They're gonna eat twice as much.
Yeah,
Nobody's
she gave
problem.
them all 1% milk,
Like,
1% chocolate milk, and then she literally took the servings and she cut all that shit in half. And the kids looking at their
Listen.
damn plates like, what the hell?
we all survived cafeteria pizza, okay, and soda vending machines in the fucking hallways. We're fine.
There's one commenter said, I used her policy to eat free fruits in the Walmart produce aisle.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Hell yes. Hell yeah.
Very
Here
true.
for it. Very true. Yes. I like that, like, stores still do that stuff though. Like, if you, like, I especially see it in Kroger where they still have,
Yeah.
like, like, you can walk up to, like, a certain section and they have, like, a basket of, like, a bunch of free fruits and stuff like that. And I think it's very positive. I think that kind of stuff is super positive. I think that's great. But, like, for those of us that want to be pieces of shit, like, just let us be pieces of shit. Like, I'm not hurting you. I'm hurting myself. You know? That's my kind of, like, self-loathing, self-harm, whatever. Like, I'm going to eat the Red Dye 40, and I'm going to drink the alcohol, and I'm going to do the unhealthy shit when my kids go to bed. I've waited so long to do that as a parent. Like, eat their Halloween candy when they go to bed. And fucking hide ice cream in the back of the freezer because they're not tall enough to see it. Okay? Like, don't take away those rights from me. I've earned those rights. Let me be a piece of shit in peace. I'll be much happier and much more compliant if you just let me be a bag of shit and eat like a bag of shit and drink alcohol.
My
Let me be.
mom starved me the entire time I was a kid, made me eat healthy my entire life. I became an adult and I moved out. I want to eat what I want to eat. If I want to drink alcohol, I will drink it. If I want to smoke, I went from cigarettes to vape. Okay, I got better. I upped it. All right, I don't smell like cigarette smoke. I don't walk around covered in ashes and shit like that. I leveled up. Granted, there's still
Stepped it up
nicotine,
a
but I
notch.
fucking leveled up. Okay.
Yeah.
The world may not be proud of me. I'm fucking proud of me. Okay.
Hell yeah.
It's still better. It's an improvement.
Yeah.
But I don't want to pay $50 for 2 fucking pods when 2 months ago I was paying $20. Like, come the fuck on.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the thing is that the more, whether it's your parents, if it's, the government, if it's society, whatever the case may be, the more people say you're not allowed to do this or don't do that, like, the more that shit gets controlled, the more you want to do it. Which, I mean, that's the whole like fucking prohibition shits when they're fucking hiding alcohol and they've got speakeasies and things hidden. It's because you told people that they couldn't have it. Well, where there's a will, there's a way.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you know, it's a fuck around and find out kind of mentality. Is like, well, you can tell me that I'm not allowed to do it. You can make it harder for things, you know, to not be accessible, but it's going to happen, like, one way or another, you know. And I mean, I love my parents. We have a great relationship now, but it was a real struggle as a kid because they were strict. They were more strict, you know, than a lot of other people's kids or a lot of other people's parents. And, you know, so when I had the opportunity to rebel, I did. I absolutely did. And I mean, what are you going to do? It's the same concept. The more you tell people they can't have something, or the more you shove it down their throats and preach to them this isn't healthy and this is bad for you and blah blah blah, blah, the more I'm going to want to fucking do it.
Yep.
You know, people talk shit about Taco Bell. You're just making me hungry. I just want to go eat Taco Bell now. Yeah.
Ooh,
Like,
really
you know,
hungry.
if people talk so much shit about like how bad a movie is and they're like, oh, you should not see this movie, it's fucking horrible, I'm probably going to want to watch it for pure morbid curiosity. What made it so shitty? And usually I end
Because
up
I
liking
want
those
to join
movies.
in on the conversation of what made it horrible.
Yeah, like if it's really that bad, I want to bash the fuck out of it like everyone else. Like I want to join in, you know? So, and I would rather watch those really shitty movies that everybody talks shit about because I end up actually liking those movies more than, like, you know, I'll be the oddball and be like, actually, I really enjoyed that movie.
Are they
It was
making a sequel?
phenomenal. I would like to vote for a continuation of this, please. So, you know,
Oh my god. Well, thank you guys for sharing the live too. That's fantastic. Thank y'all. And yeah, Jen said she'd just starve until she got home from school.
yeah. I mean, but it's also too like they cut that kind of stuff, and then they also made it where like the lines were super long, and it was really hard to actually go get your fucking food. And then by the time you actually did get it, you didn't have time to eat.
Yeah.
I just didn't eat lunch at school until I got to high school. Honestly, I skipped lunch. I ate breakfast, skipped lunch, had a snack when I got home, and then had dinner.
So what would be another executive order that you would choose?
I would want us to, so like I said, the rest of my stuff is really just related to like our lives as military, since like that's all the shit that we talk about anyway. And I think obviously we know what a dream sheet is. If some people are listening that don't know what a dream sheet is, essentially the active duty member can come up with a few places that are within like their jobs, that have openings or just anything where they can have like a dream sheet of where they would want to be stationed, like where they would want to go. And which is fine, but let's say you pick 10 places that you would want to go. The chances of you getting one of those 10 places, not great odds. They're going to put you wherever the fuck they're going to put you, and you just shut up and deal with it. And so one of my executive orders would be, and I don't know exactly like how I would like work out like the small details, but I think that people should be allowed to choose to an extent where they're PCSing, like where their location is going to be. And I don't know if that would be, you know, when they're first at a basic, they get to pick their first PCS, like where they would want to be first, or if it would be something where it's like if you re-enlist every so many years, like when your contract is up, then you could pick it. Not just do a dream sheet, but like actually pick, well, I want to be stationed in Alaska, so I'm going to go to Alaska. I would make that more of a decision for the service member and or their family to actually be able to pick where they can go, and actually that it would be followed through and actually done appropriately. And there would be no, you had to pick four other options because you might not get that. No, you pick it, you get it, congratulations, that's your option. I just think, you know, just trying to make things more positive when it comes to families. Like, I don't know that you would have chosen to move 4 hours away from where you were previously living, or if you would have rather have chosen a completely different state for a completely new experience, you know?
I think that if it would, so like this place, like I would not have chosen this place, but I would have chosen the reason, non-deployable, TRADOC.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you had given us, the options, like Joey had put down this place because it was TRADOC. Joey had put down other places like Virginia because of also location.
Same.
That would have been our dream location. And he put down other places because of TRADOC and things like that. So,
yeah.
Are we
Same.
happy with the location? No. Are we happy with the reason? Hell yes.
Yeah,
so
it was like a trade-off.
Benefit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they give you like a dream sheet and they say put down your top 10 places, and where do they send you? The 11th one.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, you're not going to fucking go there. Like,
or you don't end up going anywhere. Or you stay exactly where you are and you go nowhere.
Yep.
And I just like, what's the point?
Go, so we make sure we do not fucking send you there.
Right? Like, oh, those are where you want to go? Nah, we don't like you.
Yep,
Screw it. That was
like,
the same thing with Shannon. He picked, but you like, what's crazy to me is that there's so many of these guys or girls, equal opportunity person here, that don't really know much about like the installations that they might be choosing, like the things that they're choosing, like, somebody who hasn't been in for as long as our husbands have been in, maybe they have no idea what a TRADOC even is. So maybe they wouldn't have picked these installations because they had no idea that was an option. And maybe it wouldn't be because like maybe it depends on their rank, and I don't know all the ins and outs. Like I said, I'm not a bad Dependa. But
that's not our job to know. That's
exactly
that's beyond our pay grade.
Exactly. And that's beyond my stay-at-home mom salary. Okay, like I'm not paid to know those things. So but there's so many that I feel they just look at the location, and because they didn't have like guidance, you know what I mean? And there's so many of them that just picked somewhere because it sounds cool, like, or they've always wanted to go there. Like that's what Shannon did for his first bits of time, like, as a single dude in the military. Like he picked like things based off of how cool they sounded. So he went to Italy and he went to Honduras and he went to Al-Udeid. Like he went to these places because they fucking sounded cool, but not based on any other facts. Maybe my husband's just an idiot. I don't know. He's cute though.
Like the reality of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, he was a single dude, so like he didn't have to think about a family when making those decisions. It was just, oh, well, that place sounds cool, and who the fuck says that they get to live in Honduras? Like that'd be fucking rad. Like, let's go. I'm gonna go there. I want to go to there. So
yep.
I think having more control of that would definitely be something that, I mean, these military members, most of them are good people and they work their asses off like our husbands do. They give a shit. They want to do the best that they can do. And, they're not just coasting by until they can retire. So I feel that there should be more of that decision-making process. And that would definitely be something that I would wave my magic wand and make happen.
Wave the magic pen. I'm the president now, bitch.
I love like his bold signature too. You can see like
it's very dramatized. He is.
Really, it's bold. It is writing in bold print, like you can choose on the computer.
He makes it all known that this is my signature. This is my seat. This is my
pen.
This is my house.
This is my house, bitch. Very bold of him.
I'm surprised he didn't come in with like a label maker. DT. DT.
A stamp.
DT. Just, oh my god. So my next one, we have Brittany's in here. So Brittany! I met a spouse whose husband used to pick by which sports team was located nearby. Fuck yeah. I'm not big into sports, but you know what? I could see it.
Yeah, I could see that.
I definitely
That checks
could.
out.
Especially if you got money riding on shit. If she's a big gambler, she's got to stay away from them fucking bookies. you plant some bad seeds somewhere, you gotta be hiding from some motherfuckers too. So, that'd be a good reason.
That's a good reason. See, Brittany's on our. She would side with us on this. She would want to be like, yeah, let me pick where I go. She'd be like, fuck yeah, that's a good team right there. We can pick where we want to live. I'll vote for them.
Everybody stay the fuck out of Florida.
Florida's
Sorry,
full.
Dan. I'm not a Gator fan.
He's not either. Don't feel bad.
Thank Jesus.
My dad was not born in Florida, so he is not. He supports the colleges. He'll support UCF because that's where they live. But my daddy is a Steelers fan. My daddy is.
That's right.
Yeah, anything Pittsburgh, the Pirates, the Steelers. That's my dad.
Very nice.
He is.
So my next one. Now, economically, speaking as an accountant, I know that this is just a pipe dream, but I feel like if somebody gave me like a few hours or weeks, I could probably make this work.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I could finagle something.
Okay.
I think that police officers, firefighters, military service members, and possibly construction workers too, I don't think their wages should be taxed.
Oh, yeah. I agree with you. Like first responders, I feel like people in like the healthcare field too, like nurses.
Taxes already go, well, I wasn't thinking healthcare, but I was thinking jobs that are literally paid by taxes
shouldn't be
not
taxed. You're making too much sense, man. But we can crunch those numbers. We can figure that shit out.
Your own fucking wages. Like, what the fuck?
If they're actually able to pull off, like, people not being taxed on overtime or tips, I feel that there would be a way to figure that out as well. Because, I mean,
well, my next
make it make sense.
Minimum wage across the board, including restaurateurs. Like, you cannot have an employee that is paid below this amount. That includes
I agree with you.
Waitresses
I agree with you.
Like, that's
it's like paying someone a salary thinking that they're going to always get a bonus. Like you pay them a salary based off of like an annual bonus that you might give them. You know what I mean? Like how are you supposed to figure that out? Like people like trying to apply for like mortgages and things like that. Like, and that's your wage and like, but your tips are not guaranteed and like your overtime's not guaranteed and bonuses and things like that. But you have to include that in your fucking income, but it's not enough because it's not consistent. So, I mean, I would definitely support the fuck out of that.
It was like a service industry kind of bill or order where it was, no matter what role you hold in the service industry, you are accustomed to minimum wage, and it's set at this.
Yeah.
Because
like an actual livable wage.
They have, because I've seen a restaurant's books. I've seen a bar's books. I ran a bar. I ran multiple bars. So I know what their books look like. I know the consistency that they have. I know their downtime that they have. I know that sometimes it's seasonal, but still they're getting money. So it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah. You're paying somebody a couple dollars an hour and, but they're going to make tips. Like, fucking are they? And then, like, these places are also ones that you have to share tips. Like, I've never worked in the restaurant industry because I do not have the personality to
I don't think
work.
It's right to split tips because the busboy, the cooks, they get a substantial amount. They get a wage.
Yeah, exactly.
The waitresses do not. The waiters do not. That's the worst thing. I worked at one restaurant as a waitress. That was my job title, as a fucking waitress. And the first time they said split tips, I looked at them, I'm like, the fuck does that mean?
Yeah,
no way. Straight up to the cook, I said, how much do you make an hour? And he told me, and it was a regular wage. I'm like, I ain't giving you my fucking tips.
Yeah.
Like, that's not fucking happening. Just so you know. And he goes, no, I give them all back.
Yeah.
He's like, this isn't fair. I'm like, oh, thank God, because you'd have had to fucking beat my ass. It's not
Yeah,
happening.
you would have literally had to fucking fight
Like,
me, honestly.
I really
You
don't
would
need
have had
this
to
job.
fight
I
me.
have this job to get out of the fucking house. Like, I will quit today.
Like, if that was my, like, supplemental, like, income type thing, maybe I wouldn't be so bothered by it, but there are people that are doing that for their full-time job or trying to put themselves through school or things like that, and, like, that's fucking insane to me. And, like, I grew up in a household, too. Like, my dad tips really well. Like, you know, there is no, oh, if you're not great, I don't tip you. Like, my dad has never, like, that's always been something that's been instilled in me. Shannon and I are the same way. If we have money to go out to eat, we have money to tip. And we always include that. And, you know, it could go up, you know, it could, you know, different things, you know, make a difference. You know, if it is somewhere that gives like a military discount, like we already are giving that tip, and then we put that discount back into that tip. So like, you know, we put that extra bit in there and things like that. And it's just like, there's so many times where I see those fucking news articles where people write like nasty comments or, you know, zeros and things like that. And that shit just pisses me off because you just walk out on your fucking bill. Like, just don't even bother fucking paying at that point. Like, it's disgusting.
The one that wrote on the ticket, "Don't flirt with my husband," I feel like that would have been something said to me because I call everybody sweetie or hun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, it's
just,
it's fucking habit.
I would have been like, let's see a picture of your fucking husband before you go out here promoting your fucking receipt about don't flirt with your fucking husband. Because if he looks like a freaking bridge troll, ain't nobody flirting with your husband. Ain't nobody flirt with you. You know how I flirt with my husband? I fucking insult him. Okay? That's how I flirt. So if I walk up to you, like, I'd be good at one of those restaurants at, like, you know, the offensive ones, like Dick's Last Resort or whatever. Like, I would shine bright at one of those places. When I went with Dallas and our friend Emily for Dallas's bachelorette, we went to Dick's Last Resort. I think it was Dick's, one of those places, and Pigeon Forge. And I was more offensive than the fucking waitress was. Like, I should have gotten her. We should have swapped roles that night. And, you know, but babe, nobody's flirting with your fucking husband. Okay? And if she is, it's because she just wants tips. Okay? She's not trying to sleep with him. Guarantee you.
Yep.
Guaranteed. Okay? So just, that pissed me off. I saw that one too. And if you're broke, just say that. Okay? Most of us are. It's okay. If you just say that. And next time, go to Taco Bell. Like the rest of us that are poor.
God,
go to Taco
Bell.
I know, I really want Taco Bell.
I want Taco Bell, but my ass does not want Taco Bell.
I know.
Jesus.
Like, I want it so bad, but, like, I don't want to
Baja
ruin.
Blast and a fucking chalupa.
Have you seen, like, the things for, like, the dirty Baja Blast? I want to try it so bad. It's Baja
Blast.
Blast.
Like vodka and a Baja Blast.
No, it's not dirty like that. But they basically, anything that they try to make dirty, they put vanilla creamer or, like, some kind of creamer in it, basically. And so it has like that, like the creamy consistency. I've done it with the Dr. Pepper, and you put like coffee creamer or like something like that in it. And it's actually fucking delicious. It's called a dirty Dr. Pepper.
How naughty you sound right now?
I'm good.
Put creamer in the Baja
You put
Blast
creamer and it's dirty. It makes it dirty. Like, hell yeah.
So
hell
now
yeah.
Jen has asked, have we heard stories in the military? I'm not quite sure what you're asking, Jen. We've heard plenty of stories. We need to pull Jen in here next week. She watches us every week in the lives. We need to pull Jen in as a guest next week.
Okay.
Promises? Promises. It's happening. Jen, on board?
Yes.
Yay or nay?
Jen doesn't have a choice. We've made the decision for Jen that she's going to be in the live
Yes, it's going to be. You find a quiet space. I will send you when she was talking about the note on the tip. Oh! Well, I mean, I know about the note about the tip. But no, I haven't heard any further stories other than the note. on the
Um,
tip?
I mean, I've heard
Tip.
just the
Tip.
tip,
Tip never
just the
hurt anybody.
tip. I feel like if she means like, have we heard like crazy stories like personally? She said they just want
No,
the tip not to sleep with the husband.
you just want the tip. I just want the tip.
Yeah, well, don't we all just want the tip? Just the tip
She said they just
of the
want the
knife.
tip, not to sleep with the husband. I'm lost. We just need to have her on here.
Yeah.
We just need to have
Save
you
your
on here.
question for next week.
Yeah, next week you're the guest.
I feel
So
like
be
she's asking,
prepared.
like, have we heard any like stories like that personally? Like
No.
military people, like if we've heard things like that, either us personally with people that we know, or like if we've heard it specific to military, maybe. I mean, that After Dark page, they be talking about some kind of craziness in there
No, I met
and
quite a
outing
few people
people.
whenever I was bartending. Constantly trying to, like, they would sign the receipt and then they'd put their number on there and they'd pass it over to me and then they'd see me just put it in the register. I'm
Shut
like,
it down.
bitch, you already gave me your fucking money. I really don't care.
Yeah, I'm good now. I love that you can see that too. Like when you have like a subpar like experience at like the restaurant when you're waitress and waiters around, but then it's like when they bring you the check, all of a sudden they're like, "Do you need anything else? How was everything? Is there anything else I can get you? Can I get you a drink to go?" And like their whole demeanor is like so much better because they gave you the
Oh, yeah.
check and it's time for the tip part of it, and like their whole demeanor changed. No, I'm like, ugh, making me feel dirty.
Yeah.
Like this is like a dirty exchange.
No,
I
like,
don't
I would
like
be
it.
nice the whole time. Even after they paid, I would
Yeah.
still be nice. But it was like you're trying to do something more with me, and they'd be staring at me like, hey, hey honey, and I'm like,
I'm like,
thank you.
do you want to
And I just
fight?
put it
Like,
away. But then those same assholes, they would go to their bank and they would deny the charge for the bar. And our owner would call me and she'd be like, I need you to pull this receipt, this receipt. They denied the charge. I'm like, I can tell you exactly who it was.
mm-hmm.
Pull it out. There's the phone number. There's the charge. Me like, because I didn't call.
Yeah, it's like that Michelle, whatever her name is, that creator on TikTok where she does like her stories from the bar, Michelle the bartender, and she'll like literally give stories about things like that too, and like she'll do like the reacting of like how people treat like her at the bar, like stories from bartending and things like that, and like if they go back and they reject the payment or whatever, and then they try to come back in and they have to like charge them cash. Like, yeah, that kind of shit's just wild to me. Everybody thinks they're fucking entitled.
So, hold on. Jen sent an audio clip. So
Okay.
let me see if I turn it up. And if I play it on here.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying was she said if a woman was flirting with the husband, it's just for a tip, not because she wants to sleep with them. And I was like, bitches are dirty because they're nasty. And have you heard stories in the army? Because these women sleep with anything and for anything. That's what I meant.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, Jen. Oh, I mean, I personally haven't heard like directly from anyone that I know. But we see that stuff constantly in the pages. I mean, the After Dark page is like full of people with shitty stories like that. And then I have definitely infiltrated my way into some other spouse pages across the internet. And there are a lot of people that, of course, they're all anonymous, which takes half the fun out of it. Because, like, just out
Yeah.
yourself for being a piece of shit, please. But they're just like, oh, well, have you guys ever had this experience at this place? Because I went there and this I've definitely seen posts, and I think it was like the Carson page where they were like, this lady at this bar that people frequent in the military. I know our husbands go there. A lot of husbands go there, and I've heard a rumor that there's a bartender there that flirts with all the husbands and blah blah blah. I'm like, let that bitch make a living. Let her make a fucking living. She flirts with your husband. If my husband goes out, which he doesn't, he plays his PlayStation Portal. He ain't going nowhere. But like if he goes out and he's out with like his friends or something, and a waitress flirts with him, good for him. Good for him. Okay, good for him. Bring him an extra dessert to bring home to me. Okay. Send him a drink to go, and he's gonna get me a Dr. Pepper. Okay, because he knows what I like. You know, flirt. Give him a discount, honey. That's more money for me to spend on Amazon.
Amen.
Flirt with my husband, honey. That's fine. Just like if I was to go out, I love seeing the TikTok videos of like women sending their husband like text messages or whatever, and it's like, you know, some guy's flirting with me at the bar, or the husband's even there or whatever, and she's like, oh, this guy's flirting with me at the bar, and he'll be like, all right, well, I'll take a Jack and Coke, you get your drink, and then get the guy to buy both the drinks. Like, free drinks are free drinks.
Yes.
Okay? I'm here for it. I am secure enough in my marriage that if my husband's going out to eat, he's getting flirted with by the fucking waitress, go on ahead. Go on ahead.
Oh my god.
He is just the right amount of scared where nothing stupid's gonna happen, and just the right amount of respectful that I don't have to worry. So, fine. Flirt away. You know, get your free stuff. Get your whatever. I think that happens actually to my husband, as a matter of fact. I think that's happened to Shannon since living here. They go out for like their little team bonding, whatever, lunches every once in a while. And this past time they went to fucking Golden Corral. So, you know, he wasn't flirting with any waitresses there because there really isn't any. You do it all yourself. But they went to like Waffle House or some shit. I don't even remember. And I think he told me like that they gave him like extra, I think it was a barbecue place, and that he said he had never been there before. And the waitress or whoever was, you know, giving him the food at the counter or whatever it was, like gave him extra like pickles or gave him extra something because she was just being really nice, and he said it was his first time there and they were all in their uniform, and I was like, good for you, good on you. She was like, the food wasn't that great, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm just like, go for it, like, get yourself a free appetizer, bitch, go ahead.
And then
have
he
a
comes
great time,
home feeling all extra and spicy and stuff. Like,
he's like,
I felt
it
cute
was my
today.
first time
Might post
here.
a pic. Might delete it later.
And I'm like, well, joke's on you, honey, because right before he left, he cut himself shaving, so he was walking around the house with the damn toilet paper stuck to his fucking throat, okay? And guess who had to pick it up around the house because it fell off around the house, and I'm the one who found the bloody fucking toilet paper, so there goes your dreams, honey. Image ruined, okay? Like, okay, I don't give a fuck. These people are out here spending so much time writing on receipts. Don't flirt with my husband. He's married. Blah, blah. You're sitting right across from him at the fucking table. Nobody thought you were his fucking sister.
Holy shit. Oh. Hold on, it's getting hot in here. Mine comes with a high libido, a slow timer, and a lot of fucking supplements. And all he does is talk about deer and his workout routine. So congrats to any waitress that flirts with him, because that's all he's going to talk about. She bats an eye at him and compliments him. He's going to talk about how he got those muscles, and he's not going to shut up about it for 30 minutes.
You know what? You
And
might just
gonna
flirt
get
back
his
to get
$5.
some extra fucking pie. Give you some extra chicken wings. Bring you an extra side of spaghetti. You know what? Do you, JoJo? Get yourself some more food.
And all she's going to get is $5.
$5. Period. Maybe a tip on how to flirt better. I don't know. You know, they're just, make a living, honey. Flirt. You know,
Oh my god.
we all got bills to pay. If you have to flirt with the dudes sitting at your table, whether they are God's gift to women or bridge trolls or somewhere in between.
Dude,
That's
I
okay.
used to put
Do
I
it.
used to put fucking tube socks in my bra.
Hell yeah. I had the cutlets. I didn't serve, but like I used to work at a gym or like, whatever I would, or if I would just go out and I wanted free drinks, like, it was in between paychecks, you're broke 19, 20-year-olds. I mean, you put like the chicken cutlets in and, you got the boob tape. So your girls, cause some of us with itty bitties, we got to work real hard to make them look like they're more than what they are. And, dollar tacos, it's going to be somebody else's dollar. Ladies' night, somebody else is going to be taking care of that. You got to do what you got to do, and I respect it.
Dude, I used to have a thing. So whenever I worked at the strip club, well, the gentleman's, it's a fucking strip club, whatever. So whenever I worked there, I was the only one who didn't have to take off my clothes. And this whenever I was much skinnier, much prettier, way back when. And it used to be a thing. They'd always come in. They'd always say, "Let me see your titties." Nope, $500. Show me your tits. You can go see hers for free, but you asking me, it's gonna be $500. $500. You can see them
per titty.
And the same group of guys would always come in, and they'd always ask me, $500. Worked there for so fucking long. Finally, this dude, because we were right down the street from a fucking casino. Tell me why this dude one night calls me on my shit. He comes in there, and I'm like, all right, got your beer. You guys gonna shoot some pool upstairs? What you gonna do? He goes, nope. I'm not drinking. I'm not staying. I'm not doing anything else. I'm like, what the fuck you want? He walks in there. He has $500 cash. Straight in there. He slams that shit down on the bar. He looks at me. He says, "We doing this here, or am I coming by in the bar?" I said, "Well, you should know half of my tits are tube socks." And he goes, "What?" I gotta make him look good to work here, man. What the fuck? He goes, "Can I get a discount?"
Yeah, I get a discount. Where's the tubes out discount? The fuck? No. The price has been set.
I said, fine. $4.50. He says, "Why only that?" I said, "Well, the other $50 is because that's how much I spend on tube socks."
I gotta get my money's worth.
Like, what?
That would make me, like, I would want to wear, like bodysuit, like, prosthetic, like, bodysuits, like they do in, like, the movies and stuff when they're not gonna actually, like, show goods or whatever, If I worked somewhere like that, I swear to God, I would want to do, like in the movie White Chicks, where they do, like, the body prosthetic and then
like
they make
the
it
drag
match.
queens,
But it's, like, the tits. I swear to God, that's the kind of shit that I would do if I worked at, like, a bar or a strip club or something like that. I would do, like, the bodysuit. Sure, you can see them. Yeah, you can see the tits.
He gave me the full 500. He walked out, and everyone looked at him, and they said, "Is it worth it?" He said, "Fucking worth it." And he left.
That man worked overtime. That man picked up odd jobs. That man worked for that money.
No, he hit it well at the casino. He did. He had a great fucking night at the casino, and I was his first stop.
Pulled a Rain Man as he was going to make his dreams come true.
I said, "I made good on tips," and I showed him how much I made. He goes, "That's really, really good. That's like way more than usual for a night like tonight." I said, "Well, I had to show my tits." Because he always heard me say it too whenever he came into the club. The rule was, if you're here and I'm working, you got to shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
So he would hear me say that all the time too. Somebody would ask, I'd say $500. I'll show them to you. $500. $500. And he looked at it. He's like, I told him, and he goes, "Oh, okay."
But you get them for free.
Yeah.
Welcome.
You gotta pay.
They were your tube socks. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I like that one though. Like the non-taxing of
So what's your next
that.
one? Let's move on. Let's see what other good ones we have.
One of my big things was honestly a better resources for like us as spouses. We talked about like we both had like a very different experience coming to Fort Stewart. You had like a welcome meeting like where you went and like met people and like got information and like I just showed the fuck up to my house like
Mm-hmm.
7 months pregnant, waddling around like Donald Duck. I didn't even meet the housing people. Like I was not given anything like that. So I had like little to no information about the post besides, every half sentence that our husbands retain in their brains, and all they know is what's going on with their work, not anything else that's going on. And I just think that there should be better resources for spouses. And we've talked about this before. So one of the things that I would make mandatory is everybody that comes to a new installation is treated the same, whether you live on the post or you don't. If you're a new family coming to that installation, your entire family, all 14 of your fucking children, your mother-in-law, whoever the fuck is with you, your fucking animals, don't care. All of you sit down, you have a welcome meeting. I don't care if you're the only ones in that fucking
Yeah.
meeting. You sit down. This is all the information. These are all the resources. This is the correct list of fucking phone numbers. We might change it in 3 days, but as of right now, this is what it is. This is the battalion that your husband's in. These are the contacts for that battalion. If you need something and you can't get a hold of your spouse or there's an emergency, like I just, things like that. And then, to add into that, the resources like we had at Fort Stewart, with Free Cycle, I think that more people should have access to things that are like Free Cycle. And if somebody wanted to do that for the installation that they're on, I think that there should be an easier route to take to be able to set something like that up if it's going to benefit military families. So all the way around, bitches need more resources. There's brand new fucking military spouses coming out, and we poke fun at the stupid ass comments and questions being asked on these pages. But these women are legitimately asking these questions because they don't know how any of it works. Maybe their husband was in before they married. Maybe they met 3 days ago and he joined and it's been a whirlwind. Who fucking knows? But there are some real stupid questions that get asked in these spouses pages. And sometimes things are common sense, but sometimes like people just don't know. Women, spouses, parents of soldiers, whomever it is, I think that there just needs to be so many more resources given. Otherwise, they're just like, okay, well, here you are going to be living here for the next 3 or 4 years. Good luck. We wish you the best. Don't ever talk to us again. Like, that's how it feels. And God forbid you ask a fucking question in a Facebook group and you get demolished online.
And
And
what's worse
it's
is
insane.
a lot of them, they are 18. They are
Yeah.
kids.
They're
Like, to
babies.
us, they're babies.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, what's common sense to us is not common sense to them. My daughter is less than a year from being 18.
Mm-hmm.
She could not cope with adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
And
I can barely cope with adulthood. Like, it's a struggle. We're all struggling. I get it.
Maybe
I respect
instead
it.
too, instead of like a meeting, because so many of them also, they maybe don't have a vehicle. They maybe don't feel comfortable getting out or going somewhere. Have it where it's like a specific family counselor.
Like a
Every time a new
one-on-one.
family comes on post,
Mm-hmm.
that counselor goes to that home, because it's not like there's hundreds every day.
Exactly. Like, there's such a small amount, I feel, that they could just do so much more. Like, there should be
You have a
this.
welcome packet. You have all the resources listed, and the only thing specific that you have to do is that soldier's unit, that soldier's unit information, that soldier's FRG information if that
Right.
changes, and go to the home. You know the family's going to be home
Mm-hmm.
because they're household goods. They're just moving in. You have that information. Contact housing for that information. What the fuck ever. Contact soldiers unit for that information. You show up. You be like, hey, I need 10 minutes of your time. Here's what I have for you. Here's what you need. And address the spouse.
Yeah.
Don't
ask
address
them what
the
their
soldier.
needs
Address
are.
the
Like,
spouse.
because they're all about family care plans and family support and this and that. And I know for Shannon, with his team that he's on right now, they're all about like, check with your spouses for your TDY dates, make sure that it works for you guys, and things like that. And it's just like, it's kind of a breath of fresh air, because I mean, for me, everything seems like more of a struggle because of my ankle surgeries. So as independent as I used to be, I'm not as independent now, which is okay. But like, they're all like, check with your families and like, figure out school schedules and things like that, and let us know who's available and who's not. The single soldiers, are easier to work with, but the ones with families, that can be different, and extenuating circumstances and things like that. And there should just be so many more resources, and these people need to be in better communication with the spouses of these soldiers and these men and women that are coming onto their installation, and letting those spouses know, like, if we're the ones that are supposed to hold it down for these guys when they're gone, fucking help us out. Like you said, what could be common sense to you and I, whether it's common sense just in general or common sense military wise, doesn't mean that it's the same thing for everybody else, because common sense is not that common. And people that are brand new to a military life have no fucking idea what the hell's going on. I don't even know what's going on half the time. And I've been around for a long time, and I don't even know what's going on half the time. But that's what these resources are supposed to be for, is to help you figure it out. And even if you've been a military spouse for 15, 16 years, 20 years, whatever, there's still new shit happening all the time. So we should be kept in the loop of all these new things that are happening. And for fuck's sake, Fort Stewart keeps changing phone numbers for all their fucking shit. Bitch, send us the new phone number. Send us the new phone numbers. Why is it so hard?
Whenever I would call my doctor direct, like, call back on the number that they had called, and I'm like, look, the appointment line's not working, the pharmacy line's not working, can you give me a number? They give me 3 numbers. No, I need 1 number that's gonna work. Who do I fucking call?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like
a new person in the TikTok live chat. She is a new Army wife.
Oh, welcome to the shit show.
Yep.
Dears.
Shit ton of questions.
The ones you hunt?
Answers
No, I'm just kidding.
with deers. First thing you gotta do is, your dad was in the Marines. My dad was in the Marines. We got a lot of friends who have been in the Marines. Yeah, it's a lot.
It's shit, and it will always be shit. It will never change.
For deers, always try and do walk-ins. Don't try and do fucking appointments, because they're never going to stick to your appointment time. Get a POA that just says you can do whatever the fuck you want to at deers, because your husband or wife, I'm not going to assume, either one of them, they're probably never going to make the time to go with you for fucking deers.
Yep.
So just get a POA that says you can fucking do it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Just
because you'd be surprised at how many times you probably would need to have access to being able to do that, because the shit always comes up when your husband's deployed or in the field or TDY and you can't reach them and something happens. Like, you would be surprised. I mean, for how many times have we seen posts at Stewart or anywhere really where it's like, oh my God, my ID expired and my husband just left for rotation and he's not going to be back for 9 months. What do I do? Do you have a POA? No. My friend, you might just be fucked. I don't want to scale a scale of 1 to 10. You're fucked.
There's a special POA. I actually typed one up specifically for mine. I hated having 6 or 7 different POAs for the Army. So what I did was I took I think it was 7 or 8 POAs that we had gotten from Carson. And what I did was I sat and I typed one specific POA up. and it's like 5 or 6 pages. I mean, it's a long ass POA. And I took it to a paralegal that we knew here, or well, not here, but at Stewart. I had them read it over, and I had them kind of okay it. And that's what we've used every single time.
Yeah.
Covers everything. Covers housing, deers, real estate, covers medical, covers just every fucking thing. It even allows me to do clearing, all of that. That's what I have. I've sent it to friends. I've sent it to other soldiers. And that is the perfect POA to get notarized and to keep on hand. And it's just, there's no fucking thing you can't do with it. I fucking love it. And it was better than carrying around like 8 of them fuckers. And they're like, oh, well, we need the deers one. Okay, hold on, let me hurry up.
Yeah, let me go through my fucking giant pile of shit.
Yep.
And the best thing to do is definitely, like, you know, keep that paperwork, keep that important file of all your shit, keep it together, you know, ID cards, things like that. Pay attention to your expiration dates for your ID cards. Pay attention to, basically, don't ever leave home without your ID, by the way. Don't ever leave home without your military ID. Ever. Because that'll be the moment that they're doing 100% ID checks or something's going on and you've got to have it. Otherwise, you've got to go to the absolute disgrace of a visitor center and wait around and deal with all of that. It's just so much of a headache. Oh, goodness. These exist. Yep. Yes, they exist. You guys just don't fucking tell people about it. So people have to resort to finding things out from things like this, or God forbid, balls deep in frickin' Google searches and finding things out because they don't tell you anything. Like, literally the resources available to us as spouses, there is none. Like, there is little to none. I'm sure there are some installations out there that are so much better. I have to say, we're at Greg Adams right now, and I have to say that the experience at Greg Adams has been so much better than Stewart was. They've been very welcoming. I've gotten so much information being here, and so far it doesn't seem like we have as many crazies, or I just haven't found them yet. So it's been a better
crazy.
I did.
If we
I did
revert
find
back
one
to last
crazy.
week, you found your stalker.
She still has her blue hair. I think she was a little disappointed that I no longer had my blue hair. She spotted me yesterday at the bus stop, and I think she was disappointed. So we'll see how long hers lasts.
Oh my god. We went and changed it on her. Like, what the fuck is she supposed to do now? She's gonna
Be wary
show
of
up and
other
she's gonna have
spouses.
gauges in her ears.
I'll die. I'll be like, just kidding, these aren't real. They're fake. These are just like the screw-on ones. This is not, you do not see through my ear. This is magic. This is not real.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Oh my god. What is another thing you would do? Give me your next.
I don't know. I didn't know people didn't carry their IDs all the time until my dad retired. Is housing on or off post generally better? I want to do off post, but I'm nervous. Always off if you can do it.
Off.
Always off.
Yeah.
Now, some
Off,
on post may be better.
Yeah.
It may be. But if off post is your option, always go with off post.
Yeah. If you have the option, to buy a house, if you have the option,
if you have the now that is a much better elaboration. If you have the option to buy a house, always buy a house.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And depending on the area that you're in, I got a kick-ass fucking realtor friend, and she works with several offices because she's also military. She still works with several offices in all of Georgia and Alabama. She's fantastic. I love her to death. I do not gain any kind of
This
money or
creator
anything.
does not earn
This-
commission.
Yep, this is I
or
do not get
reference.
any kind of reimbursement or anything from her. I promote her simply out of love.
I know
for
who you're
girl.
talking about too. She's been on the pages, and like she's very much recommended by a lot of the spouses there. Is
Minus
it
Sabine.
Sabine? Yeah, Sabine.
Yep, I fucking love Sabine. I
Yeah.
love her so much. So
Yeah.
1000%.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have the
girl.
option, buy a house. If you don't have the option to buy a house, I know it's not like always the best time, like with the current state of affairs, but if you have the option to buy, 10 out of 10, I would do that. If you don't, I would try to find somewhere. And, honestly, like the commute probably wouldn't be horrible depending on where you go. But if you're at Stewart, I would live off post.
Yes.
Live off
Now,
post
Belfer Betty,
1,000%.
They are the managing companies for at least 4 military posts.
Mm-hmm.
If they are the managing company for that post, do not live
Run.
on post.
Or if
Do
you're
not do it.
renting, if you're going to rent
Corvias.
and you see them
Corvias
as
was another
your
one.
people.
Corvias was the second worst for the managing companies on post.
Hell yeah.
So it was horrible.
Oh,
That's a nice
cute.
area.
Yeah.
That's a nice area.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's always going to depend which, like right now I'm in Virginia and I love our house on post. But I mean, it's not just the houses, that go into consideration. It's also like, the commute, like depending on where your husband works, like this installation has housing that's off post, but it's considered part of base housing. So, but they're not connected. So there's no security. So there's no gates to get in. Anyone has access to the house, but it's considered part of the installation. So it's very weird. It's a very nice, like, thing to have, like, the community, I think, of living on post. Like, you've got your grocery shopping, you've got amenities, which are really nice, depending on where you're living. So it is... Neighbors of Hell from Stewart, yeah.
Well, that's Sam. That's Sam.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
there's like...
the ex-mayor.
Yeah.
The ex-mayor being the neighbor.
I had some neighbors of hell of my own. So
Yeah, we all
it
had
all
bad neighbors.
just depends on where you're going.
But yeah, also the commute. You do have to
yeah.
look at the commute, and
Yeah.
is the commute worth? You have to bring a balance with all of these things.
Mhm.
So it's quite a bit. It's the convenience. If you live on post, then it's convenient for the spouse to come home
Mhm.
during lunch. It's
Yeah.
convenient for the spouse to, not be facing that gate traffic
Yeah.
in the morning, the gate traffic in the evening, the gate traffic in the afternoon, because that's a huge thing.
Mhm.
That gate traffic is a bitch.
Yeah.
Because I worked off post.
Same.
So in the morning, it wasn't too bad. I was leaving post.
Mhm.
But coming home,
Yep.
that was a bitch.
Yep. God
Because
forbid they
I
got a
came
lane
home-
shut down and
Yeah, well, I
you gotta
came
get
home
out.
during lunchtime.
Mhm.
That was whenever I came home. I left the office, but I was still working from home later in the day. So
Mhm.
coming back during lunchtime, I would be behind like 50 fucking cars trying to
Yep.
come back at 1 or 1:30, and oh my god, it was hell.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, I feel like the most negative thing is
Ooh.
definitely like gate issues, like whether it's closed or there's traffic or random inspections where it takes you 3 times as long to get through or whatever the
Dude,
hassles
this
are.
is not the time for gate checks or for
Yeah,
gate checks.
seriously.
Like, seriously. Who the fuck's trying to smuggle motherfuckers in at lunch? Like, just everyone pop your trunks just so you can drive through.
Yeah, just pop them open, carry on, roll your windows down, like let's just move along, and notifying folks in advance. Like, you're gonna catch anything different if you notify people in advance. You're probably just gonna make your process go a little faster and deter people who shouldn't be there to not come on. We're killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
That whenever we were at Carson, that would have been the time to bring on Mary Jane. Was at lunchtime because no one fucking cared. They're like, just get the cars through, get the cars
Wave
through.
them through. Oh, that's so funny.
Oh my god. Yeah, you gotta look at the area.
Yeah, crime.
Yeah, there is a lot of crime. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never been stationed there, but I've heard from other people that it was nice. But Brittany, she sounds like she knows a little bit more about the area.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, crime. There
That's her
hasn't been
hood.
a whole lot go down about Fort Hood.
Yeah. Well, right outside our post too. So like they're depending on which gate you go out, you're going into the different cities. And like One Direction, it's like higher crime right outside one specific gate. So like if we were going to live off post, that would not be the area we would want to live at. But then if you go a different area, it's fine and it's all really nice. I mean, it's kind of the same thing with Hinesville. Like, you know, it's a little sketch in some of those areas, depending on which gate you go out. You know, it's a little questionable. Yeah. But, you know, I think there's always going to be pros and cons depending on where you're at and where the post is and what's going on there. And I mean, my best suggestion is whenever you know you're going to be moving somewhere, join all the Facebook groups. Join them all.
The first thing I do before we move is I always look up, because you know us and guns and pew-pews. I don't know if I can say it on here. You know us and pew-pews. Mm-hmm. So I always look up the concealed carry laws, and I always look up the just standard laws, like if I can open carry, conceal carry, what I have to do.
Yeah.
So I know here it's obviously open carry because it's still the state of Georgia. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't too hard to kind of figure out because, again, we're moving in-state.
Yeah.
But you also have to look up the local county rules as well. So
yeah,
that was pretty comforting. But that's something I recommend. I don't know if you're pro-gun, if you're anti-gun, but
just anything that would be important to you would be like if you have kids, like you'd want to look into like school districts and things like that. You don't have to do Facebook groups, but it is decent to get like an idea of what you're in for by joining those groups. Like exactly like if you're not so active, like I'm more of a lurker than a poster. Like I'll lurk on other people's posts, or I'll just do a search for like specific questions that I might have, and I might not actually post anything unless I'm purposely trying to troll the spouses, you know, on a random Tuesday morning and just stir the pot, which is always a good time. But I just read and I just watch and I just check things out. But you get a lot of information from those groups, especially like if you do live on post and you know where you're going to be living, what neighborhood and things like that. There's groups for those specific neighborhoods, and it helps keep you informed of what's going on. You know, weather watch, any security breaches, things like that. And they're nosy as hell, and they'll be all up in your business in those neighborhood groups. But, you know, sometimes it's how you bond with people. That's what Brittany and I bond over.
Something else you can do, you can call non-emergency line for the police station in that area, and you can ask them for recommendations. They will give you the statistics for the safety cities in that area.
Yep, high crime, low crime.
Yeah, so we did that whenever we were moving from our home state to Fort Carson, because we had never left. We grew up in India, both my husband and I. We were married for years before he enlisted. And so we were literally moving from our home state to somewhere brand new. And it was a huge state, huge cities around it. It was big. It was a huge change for us. So I had joined some Facebook groups, but it still wasn't like a big take. This was back in 2016. And so I had called the non-emergency line for Colorado Springs for that county. and I asked them, I said, we're getting ready to move. Do you have any recommendations or anywhere that you would tell me not to move? I didn't want to call a realtor at first because I thought, well, a realtor is just going to tell me somewhere
Try to
where they can't
sell
sell
you.
a house or something like that. So I called the non-emergency line. I said, is there anywhere that you would recommend me purchasing a house? Is there anywhere where you would definitely tell me not to buy a house? And they gave me like their statistics on safety cities, on dangerous cities, things like that, based on their crime rates. So that's a really good resource as well.
Yeah. And see, that's the kind of shit that should be given to spouses as a resource. Like that kind of information. Like we are lucky to get it from other spouses, but there's tons of spouses who don't reach out, who don't ask questions, who just show up because they're told that's where they're supposed to go and they do the things that they're supposed to do. And I don't want to say bare minimum because it's not easy being a spouse. Like this is not easy stuff, but they do the bare minimum that they have to do, and they don't do more because they don't know. You know, any idiot can pack up their shit and move to a new house. It's not rocket science. It's not difficult, but there's a lot of things that go into it when it's involving the military.
Sell, okay? This was a bitch.
All right, you're right. You're right.
This one was a bitch. We had a lot of shit. We were like 7,000 pounds over our damn fucking limit.
And we're any idiot, okay? We're the idiots in this scenario, Aaron.
Actually, we're like 10,000 pounds over our fucking limit. Oh my god.
As were we. We were very much over ours, but doing a ditty, it worked out in our favor, not against us. But, you know, it's only one part of it is packing up your shit and moving state to state, house to house, whatever it is. That's only one small part of it. Your husband showing up to work is one part of it. If you work outside the home, that's only one part of it. It's all these other things where, like, if you don't know what questions to ask or where to ask them, or you get nasty spouses, like, you know, I'm not a friendly person by nature, but like if someone's asking me for help or like a resource or to ask me something, if I have the answer, I'm going to give it to you. What good is it to gatekeep stuff? But there's so many spouses, like your cute little FRG experience, you know, or just the experiences that we've had with spouses in general, neighbors and whoever, like they're just fucking nasty for no reason. And that makes it hard to ask a question or to find out information. And then God forbid your husband gets fucking deployed or he goes to school for 10 weeks or whatever the case. And then you're stuck there by yourself and you don't know what the fuck is going on. And you have no idea, like, and you're just stuck and no one's nice. And that's a shitty experience. And it's no wonder people don't want their husbands to stay in. They want them to do some time and get the fuck out. They don't want them to stay in and retire.
So her husband is just about to graduate AIT, and she's trying to plan what she can without him. So the one thing I do want to say, and this is something that pisses me off, while they're in AIT, I don't know you, I don't know your husband, but the one thing I do want to say, and my husband says this all the fucking time, he gets soldiers that come to him and all the time they'll say, well, my pay's not working, or my family's insurance isn't working, or something like that. Well, didn't you sign the paper in AIT? No, they didn't give it to me. Well, didn't you sign your DEERS in AIT? No, they didn't give it to me. Your husband should have all the paperwork for DEERS filled out, signed, all the paperwork for his pay filled out, signed. Obviously, he should have been getting paid by now. Anything for housing, he should have all his dependents listed. He should. That's a big thing. All dependents listed. He should have it that he's married. He should have it that it's all filled out correctly. All that paperwork signed and ready to go. He should, depending on where he's at with AIT, he's obviously, I assume, because you know supposedly where you're going, he's got his assignment. Hopefully by now he has those orders and they are hard orders. Call and email where you're going, have those orders sent. At least get your name on the on-post housing, just in case. Even though we hate on-post housing, the best thing to do is to always get your name put on the wait list for on-post housing in case something falls through.
As a backup. Yep.
Yeah, always have that backup.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get penalized if you don't take it, but you always want it as a backup.
Yep.
So he saw them on a computer, and when he gets his Sunday call, I'm going to tell him to send them to me. Yes. You've got the POA, so everything that he has, you need to have.
Yep.
Everything. Yeah, it's just everything. And always remember that ACS, it's Army Community Services, ACS is your best friend. They were the greatest resource for me when my husband first enlisted. I went to ACS for everything. I asked them so many questions. I was constantly up their ass. And you can go right now to the closest Army base to you. Any Army base that's close to you, you can go and talk to them. You can speak to them. You can ask them questions.
Yep.
Anywhere that is an Army base or even a non-Army base, you can go and ask them questions. They'll be able to help you. They're at your full disposal. Your military ID can get you anywhere. 2 hours away? Okay, well, only do it then for emergencies. That's a hell of a fucking drive. Maybe just call them. It's fine.
I know there's also I can't remember the website, but if you do like a search on Google for it's like Military One Chat or something like that.
Military One Source.
Yeah, Military One Source. You can actually go on there and ask specific questions that are all related, and they can give you all drives 2 hours per question.
Hold on, we gotta do a shout out first because Jen's daughter is listening to. Hi, Luna.
But yeah, you can go to Military One Source and you can do like a chat, and it's like a live chat with someone, and it's all military like resources, and you can specifically ask a question. Or I mean, you can always call that close military base to you or whatever, and you can always call and ask them questions as well. They have visitor centers, they have helplines, they have all kinds of things that you can do if you can't go in person. Don't drive 2 hours for one question. Get yourself up to like 10, and then you can drive your 2 hours.
Make a whole list, grab a friend to be like, road trip. Like a Thelma and Louise kind of day.
Yeah, just don't kill anyone.
Yep. Unless you
leave
have
that,
to.
Leave that part out.
Yeah, we won't tell anybody.
Unless you have to, yeah. We'll be your alibi. But yeah, you can, I mean, there's no limit to like information that you can get in advance. If you have a question about it, you can ask it.
10 questions.
Probably...
Yep. 10 questions is a good need for 2 hours. I feel like that's justified.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yep. That was awful when Joey first enlisted. And I remember sitting at the house and I'm like, I don't have a military ID. Gotta refresh. I lost you.
Me?
I lost you. It said, hold on. I have to.
I still have you. I still have you. And myself. I still have myself. It's fine. I talk to myself often. It's fine.
Wait a minute. Let me put some mama in it. It'll just pause where I'm at, and it'll just have my blank face.
Okay, I'm just staring at myself and realizing that I need to wash my hair.
I washed my hair today. Been using that green shampoo to try and get the burnt red out.
The red out? I covered up all my blue. That's why my friend is disappointed. I covered it all up. I blew black instead of blue.
Michael T. Cole. Sounds like person. Everybody enjoy Veronica for a moment. I'm gonna go.
Hey.
Taking you out of my head.
Now I'm always in your head. I live there rent free. Thank you. It's not a name you hear very often. I was named after a very old, a great grandma. And I am myself a great grandma, basically. That's how I feel on the inside. I don't like loud noises, newfangled gadgets. So I think I kind of live live up to the hype of being named after a really old person. If you have any other questions that you can think of too, feel free to ask. Both of our spouses, they worked together and they've both been in for, I think Joey and Shannon have been in for about the same amount of time. So we're going on like 15, 16 years of being in this world of craziness. So feel free. And Brittany, if she's still in the comments, she's been, I think, longer than us, actually. If you're worried about housing as far as that goes, hi, Brittany. If you're worried about housing as far as that goes, with like your breed of dog, I mean, what they don't know won't hurt them. So, Brittany and Aaron can both agree with me that probably any base would be this way, but our last base, they just do not care. Um, they're collecting money from you, from your BAH. They're taking all the money that they can get from you. Our last post didn't charge any kind of like pet fees or deposits or rent or anything like that. My current installation, they do charge a pet deposit, but we have our dog as a service dog. So we got out of paying the deposit because I utilize her for specific trainings since I've had surgeries. And but even if there's breed restrictions, what mama don't know don't hurt her. So the less housing knows about what you got going on in your house, the better, as long as it's not illegal. Yeah, it's honestly, every base is going to be different, but even him being an MP, you guys having a certain dog, I mean, you could say he's a mix, you could say nothing. I mean, I wouldn't really be too concerned about it, as long as he's not aggressive, and he or she is probably just the loveliest, doviest baby angel ever in the whole world, because pitties are so sweet and precious. We have a German Shepherd Husky. Brittany and I have sibling puppies, and honestly, they're probably worse than pit bulls. They're crazy, they're loud, they tear up the yard. But again, whatever housing doesn't know won't hurt them. And your husband being an MP, which is pretty rad, by the way, they don't give a shit. They really don't. They only care about money at the end of the day. I don't think there's anyone that would disagree with the fact that housing just only cares about your money. Yes, Ghoul! A little baby Ghoul. Hello. Welcome back from the bathroom. I'm so used to your bathroom just being right there. And you're in like a different space. There.
Okay, stop text.
Woo! We were just talking about she was curious about like her puppy. She's got a pit bull. And so she was asking about, having good night. So she was asking about, basically, I'm assuming the pets on post, like restrictions as far as things like that go. And I basically said, what mama don't know won't hurt her. And at the end of the day, housing just cares about getting your money. And that was actually one of my things that I had going on in my executive order list, was for housing to not be able to take every fucking cent of your BAH. For what reason? For what reason?
Making sure it's skinny before I start talking. As I pour, oh my god. So I can't show it on TikTok, but I can show it on here.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
I can only pour half of it in my cup.
That's huge. Huge. Hell yeah. Drink it all. No, I'm just kidding.
Hydrate me.
I was gonna try.
So I can only take baby sips of this because the other half belongs to Joey.
That's why you were gonna. Yeah, I mean, I definitely understand that you get this BAH, which is an amazing thing to have because literally it's paying for your fucking housing. But I mean, it obviously depends on cost of living. It depends on, you know, what kind of place you're going to live in and things like that. But if you live on post, they will take every red cent of your BAH. And yeah, and I was just about to say, we quote unquote just got a raise in BAH January 2025. We're still fresh in the month, and you don't get to keep that difference. It's like a $250, $300 difference. Yep. Like most other places, if you sign a lease, you pay that rent for that lease. They can't change it within that lease. But if you live on post, you're not specifically, I mean, you kind of are agreeing to a certain amount because it is in your lease, but basically they're saying that they're taking all of your BAH because it's always going to be the exact amount of your BAH. And even if you get a raise, you don't pocket that difference. They take it from you. So, I mean, in hindsight, you don't have to worry about anything, which is kind of nice. You don't pay for electricity, you don't pay for water, you don't pay for, you know, trash, sewer, all those utilities and things. You don't pay for any of that. So, I mean, it is kind of nice not to have to worry about things like that. You don't pay for the ice cold AC, and some of us run our AC ice cold.
Exactly. Laundry.
Yeah, you don't pay hot water, you don't pay for all those things. You don't have to pay for all those things.
If you're in an excess state,
Mm-hmm.
and it's an accounting term that I use. If you're in an excess state, let's say you're in a state like Texas or Georgia or Florida, where the excess would be AC or water. A lot of water is used, a lot of air conditioning is used. Then it's more beneficial.
Yeah.
Or if you're in an area like Alaska. Do you have me turned up, Veronica, on your phone?
Yes.
Much more northern state where something like heat is going to be used in excess. That would be more beneficial. So, one of those two extremes, something like living off post, would be slightly beneficial. But it's still an advantage. It's still taking advantage of you.
With certain circumstances, yeah, it would be more beneficial.
You have to touch it based on your family. If you are a family who has a lifestyle that activities, more use of water, high AC, things like that during the summer, during the, like my family, for instance. I have 3 kids. I garden a lot. I'm an excess gardener. I grow a lot of vegetables. I grow a lot of herbs and things like that. So I use a high water content. So it's more beneficial for my family to live on coast.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can run water constantly for my plants. We throw parties that use like the water castles and stuff like that. We fill our pool
Mm-hmm.
multiple times during the summer because we like clean water in the pools, not chemicals. I'm not a big fan of chemicals, so I like to change the water constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have a very cold house. Veronica can attest to that, as well as many friends in the line can attest to that. I love a freezing fucking house. I'm fluffy as hell. I'm big. I sweat. I like it cold.
Ditto.
To my family to live off coast because we're not held by restrictions of living for those utilities.
Mm-hmm.
So what does your family live like? That's something to consider. If your family can live within certain controls on utilities, or if you're a very small family, maybe it's just you and your husband, maybe you have some kids, things like that. If it's just you and your husband, go live off coast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it was kind of the same thing for us. When we first got to our duty station, we didn't live on post. We lived off post. But the commute became too much, and how much we were paying in rents versus how much we were paying in utilities and then the gas because of the commute and all the things, it just did not make any sense. And then moving on post, we still paid that same rent. Yeah. 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 I would say living off post probably seems like your best alternative, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think living off post seems like it would be your best bet, especially if it's going to be like your first ever duty station. I feel like maybe you should ease into it just a little bit. Just the tip. Just the tip. Just ease in. Just take it easy. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Next episode, financing with Aaron. I mean, hey, she's a smart lady. That's funny. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Do it. Do it. I have a parenting hell. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Right? Like, are they going to judge what kind you're using? We don't know. It's a whole new thing to be judged by. They don't prepare you for that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Batteries and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he's asleep. I don't want to go wake him up. So I go out to my husband and I say, your son, it's his son. Your son has taken my vibrator. He looks at me, he's like, are you sure? 100%. Next day, when I tell him, I said, you're going to discuss this with him. I've discussed enough with him. You're in charge of this shit. Tomorrow, I want it back in my end table. I don't care how you handle it. I don't care what you do. You're going to handle it. So the next day comes, we wake up, Zane walks in the room, and he says good morning to us. He walks back out, and I call him back in. I said, no. Hold on, come in here. I said, so when you were getting stuff out of my end table, did you grab anything that you probably shouldn't have?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, well, I grabbed one of your action figures.
The mighty Thor.
That was not hammer. And I said, what does it look like? He said, well, it's purple. I said, why did you take it? Well, because it looks cool. So I put it on my shelf because it's one of y'all's toys, and I wanted it to be on my toy shelf. So it's like y'all's. And I said, dude, it's not a toy. Well, it actually is, but it's
Not that kind.
toys. But we use that for mommy and daddy's intimate times, like Uno times. The kids hear us all the time say, we're going to go play Uno. So he just kind of stares for a second, and you can see it like computing in his head. Like the eyes are like moving
Oh yeah.
down, sideways. He's thinking about it, and then it clicks. And
he's
Oh
looking
my
at his hands, and he's just like, it's coming.
I've
You know,
touched it.
It's, I said, I need you to go get it and bring it to me. I don't want to touch it. Dude, you've already touched it.
Yeah.
You've touched it.
This is
It's
your
been-
bed.
You've touched it.
You've made it.
You're in too far now.
Yeah.
So he goes and he gets it and he brings it back and he's like dangling it with his fingers with like part of his sleeve. And he just throws it on the bed.
Oh my
And then
god.
he takes off his shirt and he puts it in the dirty laundry basket. And I'm like, are you going to go wash your hands? He's like, yes. And he's like scrubbing all the way up to his fucking elbows and shit. And he's just like completely traumatized. And he comes back in and I said, are you ever going to go through my end table again? No.
No. Oh my god. This would be like one of those moments where it's
self-conscious about the movers because
yeah.
my literature looks like a super cool fucking action figure when really I should have brought it in here so I could just
Show and
if I
tell.
could find it, I would have brought it in here and I would have just fucking held it up because it looks like a purple blob.
Is it like the rabbit?
It's the boring fucking thing in the world.
Because I just keep picturing the
It
rabbit.
looks super fucking cool.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Just be grateful that.
It's not even like the rabbit. It doesn't have like 2 ears or anything. It's literally like a purple blob
Yeah.
that slims down and becomes more of a purple blob.
Just be grateful that he wasn't at like the age where they do like show and tell at school. Because could you fucking imagine the show and tell response? Like, it's gonna go one of two ways. He's gonna be the coolest kid in his class because that is the action figure of all action figures. Little does he know the action behind it. Or everyone's
Action. It only got used like once a month.
Yeah.
It's been gone.
you would end up the topic of a fucking neighborhood post. You would end up a PTO meeting, you'd be the topic. You would definitely be the topic at like
It would have been the second time I was a hit at a PTO.
yeah. And this time for a good reason.
Then I have a kick-ass fucking vibrator.
You'd be getting requests. Hey, where'd you get that? Can I order that on Amazon? Do you sell them? Is that your do you do MLM? Is that your hustle, your side hustle? Do you do pure romance?
It's from Walmart. It's not even fancy. You can have it for $20.
Dude, at least you didn't get the rose from the Goodwill that's been circulating these parts of Facebook. A Facebook post.
This doesn't hold my scented oil very well.
This is a weird slime mixture. I've never seen this specific slime before. Like the way you're describing it, I'm just picturing like a blob of slime. That's what I'm picturing. This is unicorn slime.
I didn't mind. Oh, excuse me. Oh my God. Holy shit. So the second one, I'll tell the tiny little parenting hell.
Okay, because I don't have one. My children have been angels. So I don't even have a
I
parenting
can't
hell.
believe that.
Every day is parenting hell when you're home for fucking 3 weeks straight and you have snow days.
No. So this one, this is the first time that the kids have seen snow. So the last time Vita was actually 3.
Mm-hmm.
And Zane was, 6.
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday, the kids they're out playing in the snow last night. I told them they had to stay in the driveway or the front yard so we can fucking see them.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes outside, and I guess from watching TV and shit like that, he decides that it's gonna be funny
He comes inside and he's super fucking excited.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on? Like, what? And he goes, I'm pissed to see you.
The way he says it, though. I pissed a Z. I love that kid. I swear to God, I love that kid. I love that kid. That kid's going places, okay? Evil genius, I'm telling you. Evil genius. I don't know. I don't know how those work.
He's a fucking genius. How the fuck is he a genius? I don't get it.
I don't get it. I mean, I think you're pretty fucking smart. I don't know where the evil comes from, though. The evil side comes from. But he's an evil genius, that kid.
Lord have mercy.
Wow. Oh, wow. I love that for you. He's a treat. He's a fucking treat. I love him. Oh my
He
god.
is. Well, we're starting to border on about 2 hours.
Indeed.
Do you have anything you want to add? Any kind of fuckery?
You know, it's honestly been weirdly smooth sailing, even with everyone being home. I haven't gotten shit wiped on me, so that's been nice. He's literally kept it in his diaper. Thank you, Maverick. We're in the trenches of parenting hell, to be honest with you. He's getting molars and he's just teething, so literally every day is just kind of like a little bit of hell. But I don't have any outstanding stories. You've taken the cake. The blob, if you will. You've taken those. The reigning champion currently. Mine are locked away, where children don't even know that this area exists. So I haven't had that unfortunate encounter yet. So, no.
Well, we'll say, like Jen, she's not ready to have a newborn again. I can't wait for her to have her baby. That's going to be probably the only reason that I travel to Fort Stewart.
It's a legitimate reason.
Yep.
It's
So
a good reason.
I guess we'll wrap up the recording, and then we'll close off on TikTok.
Sounds good.
But so for everyone listening, thank you guys for another week. And you know, it's I would like to. I feel like I'm echoing. Do you have me turned up on your phone?
You're on my phone because my AirPods died.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Don't hate
So
me.
we're gonna echo for a minute. I'm
For a
not very
minute.
good at the Trump voice, but I will try this. So it's been fantastic. It's been fabulous. It's been a great week. We expect another great week. We're gonna do great. It's gonna be so good, so fabulous. And for everyone listening, you're fabulous. I love you. We love you. America's great. We're gonna make it great.
We're
Every
gonna
other week,
do good
we're gonna do
things.
great.
We're gonna do good things, you know.
So, this is Hot Mess Mel Mom. We're doing fabulous. So great. We're gonna see you next week. It's gonna be great. We're gonna make this podcast great again. Believe it. Everyone's saying it, and I'm saying it. Because everyone loves us. So, peace out, bitches.